Okay, Don, here's a quick little video to show you how the spill stop here works now for planes. So as you can see, we are empty tank. The PTO is off at this point. And so what happens is you can see the engine is on, the PTO off indicator is on, you can drive down the road, and so things like slosh won't affect you. So for instance, if I were to fill the tank now and go into, there's a horn alarm, so it's sounding the horn if you want, but then there's this configuration. I can flip the configuration the other way, and the horn does not sound when you have the PTO disengaged. And similarly, if we go up now to a shutdown situation, the engine continues to run, and even if we get a valve error at this point, we continue to run because the PTO is disengaged. Okay, so let's head back down to an empty tank and let's do a loading process. So PTO would switch to the loading position, which is up here, and you can see now the PTO indicator light shows on, so that's the loading indicator. And now as we bring the level up, we're now in the loading situation, so above empty, and now we go to a horn alarm. And as you can see, the engine is now shut off and the horn starts to flash, and we can bypass this. So if we hit the horn bypass here, it allows the engine to restart as well as giving you or shutting off the horn for you. Alright, so let's say the guy now tries to continue to load some more, and he now goes to the shutdown. So we're now at the shutdown position, the A1 alarm, and you can see the engine is off, and no matter what we do, we cannot restart. So the horn is already bypassed, that doesn't help us. We can push the shutdown bypass, that doesn't do anything. Now the two of these together will still remove the bypass. If I hold them down, so you see the horn bypass has gone away, horn starts to sound again. But of course the engine is still off. So the functionality of that switch for removing a bypass is still there, but you can't bypass the shutdown. So at this point, your only option is you can go to the PTO off position. Of course, it allows your engine to restart. And actually, one other thing we should cover. If I'm in the loading position still and I go to an unplugged here, you can see there's a valve error now comes on, but of course you're still shut down. So whether you get a valve error or you get a shutdown, either way, you're shut down during loading. So if we turn the PTO off, of course, the engine is allowed to restart. And even if we have a valve error at that point, of course, it still runs because you can't actually have a valve error if the PTO isn't running, because where are you going to get the pressure from? Alright, so now we go to unloading. So we switch the PTO to unloading. You can see now both PTO lights are off, so it's not showing the forward one being on, but it's also not off. Engine is allowed to run. And so even though we're in shutdown, you can see now the shutdown bypass is on, and we are able to unload some content. Now, if he's pumping against a closed valve, we're going to go to an unplugged, which is our valve error, and you can see we still get a shutdown even though we're unloading. So the valve error light is now on because we're in an unplugged situation, and the engine is shut off. So if you were to clear your, fix your valve, open your valve, and then we're going to go back just to the shutdown, engine's allowed to go on again, and then we'll pump down, let's say, into the horn position, which is all fine. And then once we're all done that, we'll turn the PTO to the middle position, and so now no matter what happens, whether we're in a shutdown, whether we're in a valve error, we're always allowed to run. Nothing can shut the truck off at this point because the PTO is off. And even if you go down to the other end here, down to a short circuit, we're showing a short circuit, but the truck's still allowed to run. But of course, whether we're in an unload situation or a loading situation, you always have the engine shut down because you've obviously got a fault in your wiring. So I think that about covers what we need to do. I'm going to try and get this sent off to you here. I'm recording this just before lunch on Thursday. We're going to go have our nice staff meeting, and this should do it. We'll talk to you soon.